I'm Chief Petty Officer Herb Josie. This week on Navy Marine Corps News, sailors and Marines stand ready in the Adriatic Sea. Thousands gather in the nation's capital to honor Korean War veterans, and we'll show you how to cool off this summer, no matter where you are. Join me and Corporal Katie Stoltz for these stories and more on Navy Marine Corps News. This week on Navy Marine Corps News, sailors and Marines stand ready in the Adriatic Sea. Thousands gather in the nation's capital to honor Korean War veterans, and we'll show you how to cool off this summer, no matter where you are. Join us for these stories and more next on Navy Marine Corps News. Welcome to Navy Marine Corps News. I'm Chief Petty Officer Herb Josie.
And I'm Corporal Katie Stoltz. Petty Officer Carrie Mattson is on assignment this week.
The United Nations and NATO have reaffirmed their commitment to protect designated safe areas in war-torn Bosnia. And for the Navy, that means forward deployed ships in the Mediterranean and Adriatic are once again standing ready to answer the call. From the inside, things look like they're heating up in Bosnia. But it's business as usual for most sailors and Marines in the Adriatic Sea off the coast of Bosnia with the Theodore Roosevelt and Kearsarge battle groups. The events in Bosnia are a muted background to the day-to-day ship's routine, but no matter how routine it may be, Bosnia's never too far from sailors and Marines' minds.
There's some apprehension. We just look at it on CNN, and we know that's where our planes are going, but it doesn't really affect, like me. My job stays the same whether we're flying over Bosnia or if we're flying over Iraq.
Everybody realizes that it's nice to be out when you feel like you're doing something real world and you can see kind of the results of what you're doing. After the O'Grady rescue, everybody was sky high after that, and it's not. You realize you're not out here, just cutting holes into the ocean. You're out here doing something real, and you might be able to help somebody.
They're prepared to carry out their orders if they're ordered to do so, and as you saw with Kearsarge and the Marines on board Kearsarge, they got an order. They went into Bosnia. They did it properly, and they brought Captain O'Grady out. In this case, if they were told to bomb, if they were given targets that they could hit, certainly they're prepared to go do that. That's why they're there.
And the Captain O'Grady incident showed the reason why they have to be standing by, because they never know when they're going to get called into a real-world situation out there.
That's right, Chief. They're always ready to go. In June of 1950, Americans were called to fight in Korea. Sandwiched between World War II and Vietnam, the Korean War and its veterans were often overlooked. But not anymore.
And justice for all.
For many years, those who served in the Korean War didn't receive the recognition they deserved. It's been 42 years since the end of the war, and the nation is finally remembering America's forgotten war.
Mr. President.
6,500 veterans were provided seating, and thousands more gathered to attend ceremonies and get a glimpse at the newly dedicated Korean War Veteran Memorial.
And I think it's a fantastic thing, and it's worth the wait and the heat.
Despite the heat, many vets didn't have a problem remembering the cold of the Nagnim Mountains, where some of the war's bloodiest battles were fought.
But you did your job because you had to, and the other guys expected it of you, and you expected it of them. Just a Marine Corps tradition.
Being a young Marine, I was only 18 years old. There was no doubt in our mind we were going to do it. We did.
They represent, once more, the enduring American truth. From many, we are one.
Veterans also got a chance to relive their Korean memories at Marine Corps Base Quantico.
It's kind of neat that it's kind of being recognized that, after all these years, have been kind of forgotten about.
These guys have worked hard, and they've been through a lot. And just hearing some of these stories I hear, I think they should have had it a long time ago.
Many veterans displayed their pride by wearing their uniforms from the war.
That's where we used to put our chevrons on. You added one as you got promoted, you kept adding them.
Yeah. Colonel Chesty Puller, who commanded the 1st Marine Regiment during the Korean War and received 5 Navy Crosses, is a vivid memory in Ralph Hoffman's mind.
He got up there with his field glasses, looked around, and the sniper fired 3 rounds, and the bird, he didn't move a muscle, turned around and walked back down the hill. You got to follow a guy like that.
But the people I think about are the ones that we left behind over in Korea, there, particularly in the north when we couldn't bring their bodies out.
And these sacrifices were the basis for the dedication for this memorial. Freedom is not free, a victory remembered.
A couple of tears in the eyes of some of those veterans out there.
Sure, Chief. It was very emotional for all the veterans. They finally got the recognition that they deserved.
I can see why they were waiting, too, because 54,000 Americans died during the 3 years of the Korean War there.
Compare that to 58,000 that died in the 10-year span of Vietnam.
Very tragic either way you look at it. Well, a joint training exercise in Iceland is helping members from all the services prepare for the defense of Iceland. Senior Airman Pachari Lutke reports.
During Exercise Northern Viking, soldiers and Marines put the training they've received in the military to the test, defending the Borfelt power station, one of 3 hydroelectric plants that supply power in Iceland. The soldiers and Marines faced the simulated threat by the Norwegian Special Forces, whose mission was to overtake the power station.
Their objective is to try to destroy it. In order for them to do that, they have to actually get within the power station itself and set up simulated charges that would destroy it.
Northern Viking puts into practice the defense of Iceland in times of danger or hostility and tests the logistics of transporting forces and supplies here. At Borfelt, the Norwegians add a dimension of realism that many times cannot be achieved during training.
We're out here, it's almost like really fighting a war, and we're trying to look for the enemy, and we're defending this power plant right here. So it's actually pretty motivating.
Yeah, I think they're pretty good, but I'm not going to underestimate them or anything.
The watching and waiting in Borfelt kept the soldiers and Marines on their toes.
Well, it's possible there might be a Norwegian sniper up there. They usually travel in 1 to 4-man teams, but a sniper will travel by ourselves, and they're known for the large rucksacks and high-powered rifles.
I'll tell you, this is a tough mission. It's a tough mission for both sides. If I was betting man, I'd probably bet that it'd be a draw.
With the continuing downsizing of forces in the military, more of the burden will rest on the Guard and Reserve units should our forces be called to defend our country or other nations. The training at Borfelt will prove invaluable to the soldiers and Marines involved should they ever have to face that situation. For Navy Marine Corps News, I'm Senior Airman Pachari Lutke, Borfelt, Iceland.
Hey, Chief, grab your parka. Let's go.
Been there, done that. It's a great place, don't get me wrong, but I'm not into the cold, you know, even though it looked quite warm. Looked almost summery out there.
Gotta beat the heat.
Ooh, well, when we come back, do you want to quit smoking? We'll show you how the Navy can help you kick the habit.
And San Diego sailors and Marines get together to help homeless veterans.
Don't go away.
Life. You're born, you're all potential like a blank slate. Fill it any way you want. You're like a lump of clay that can be molded into anything. Fill up your life. Just keep drugs out of it, huh? It's a life or drugs situation.
Welcome back to Navy Marine Corps News. If you've been trying to quit smoking but just can't seem to get over the hump, don't you dare give up.
That's right. It's difficult sometimes. I smoked a long time ago. Navy health care professionals can help you kick the habit, as Petty Officer Melinda Larson explains in this week's Health Beat.
Smoking kills more Americans than AIDS, drug abuse, car accidents, and murder combined.
Now the disease is outside of his lung, in his bones and other organs, and he's only 44 years old. Would have been nice if when he was 18 years old, he'd never started smoking.
In the U.S., about 3,000 teenagers start smoking each day. Some of those teenagers become sailors, and when health problems occur, they end up at places like the National Naval Medical Center in Bethesda.
Good. Okay. That's all there is to it. Why don't we get you set up for some pulmonary function tests today?
The major thing is that they're out of shape, very short of breath.
A lot of young men and women who come into the Navy who cannot complete their physical readiness testing, who their run times are down. They have more problems at a younger age, possibly more cancer-related problems. And this is like talking 18, 19, 20-year-old men and women who come into our Navy who cannot keep up with the older enlisted community and or officers.
Anti-smoking posters like this can graphically convey the dangers of smoking to sailors and Marines, but nearly 90% of smokers begin the habit before the age of 20, and it's hard for them to stop.
It's an addictive substance. People literally become addicted to nicotine, and that's the drug that's in cigarettes.
That's why the Food and Drug Administration is considering labeling nicotine a drug. Recognizing that, the Navy is not leaving smokers stranded. Medical clinics offer help and support through smoking cessation classes like this one.
We try to prepare the students to plan ahead for the obstacles that would possibly get them back to smoking.
So these classes encourage sailors to change more than just their smoking habits.
Smoking is a learned habit, and we're trying to unlearn this habit, so to speak, through different changes. Maybe more physical fitness activities. Instead of grabbing a cigarette, go for a healthy snack.
Good nutrition is important for people trying to quit smoking. Besides keeping a supply of healthy snacks handy, make a list of your reasons for quitting and say them often. Set a date and tell everyone you're going to quit. Increase your exercise. And finally, contact your command medical department for some help. They can also sign you up for the class. Over 400,000 Americans die each year from the effects of smoking, and quitting now helps you from becoming a part of that statistic. Petty Officer Melinda Larson, Navy Marine Corps News.
Those smoking classes are happening all over, and if you want more details on how you can quit smoking, contact your command health representative.
They can tell you when and where the next smoking cessation class is scheduled in your area and get you signed up.
Out in San Diego, sailors and Marines volunteered time and energy to help homeless veterans. Petty Officer Tom McNeil has the story.
The city of San Diego calls itself America's finest city. But this beautiful beachside town is home to more than just a great climate. In San Diego County alone, about 7,000 homeless people walk the streets every day, and 2 out of every 5 are homeless veterans. Veterans who once fought for this nation's freedom are now fighting for survival.
It's rough. I mean, you don't expect that on these streets. I mean, you expect it when you're in the military, because there's some stuff going on in these streets that's worse than any that I encountered in the military. So, for the weak and unsuspecting, you're damn near dead. But for somebody who knows how to deal with it, then you can survive.
Seeing former shipmates on the skids is a sobering experience. That's why San Diego-based sailors and Marines got involved in Operation Stand Down, a 3-day relief effort that helps homeless vets help themselves. Sailors and Marines put their military skills into action, setting up a relief camp that provided shelter and food. But perhaps more important than shelter were services that could help get them off the streets, such as job opportunities, housing referrals, and legal advice. And Navy medical and dental personnel provided checkups and emergency care to grateful veterans.
Stand Down has taught me things like there are people that care, because I know that there's a place in my life right now to where I'm having problems. Stand Down, I'll go to Stand Down and I'll get it, whether it be legal, medical, dental, or stuff like that. When I went Stand Down last year, I didn't have no teeth, okay? I got teeth now.
For many of the active duty sailors and Marines, it was their way of saying thanks to the veterans.
It's a continuation. People risk their lives for us, done things to make our lives better, and should go out and try and make their life a little better.
This was the 8th year Operation Stand Down has been held in San Diego, and veterans groups hold it each year in 50 cities around the United States. The program has been very effective. Over the first 7 years of Stand Down, 37% of all veterans involved are no longer homeless. Though it only lasted 3 days, the memories of kindness displayed by military volunteers will last forever. Petty Officer Tom McNeil, San Diego.
And we have a lot of stories about sailors making a difference, but this is really a case where 37% are off the street now because of Sailors and Marines' help.
You know, Chief, it's great to see everybody still taking care of their own.
That's what we're supposed to do out there.
Exactly.
Well, when we come back, it may not be the NBA, but one midshipman is proudly representing the Navy on the court at the Olympic Festival in Colorado.
And if you're sweltering under that summer heat wave, stay tuned.
I am.
We'll show you the coolest places to cool off.
And some of them are not even cool. Don't go away.
Look at this cash. I can't keep this money. I'll just turn in the ID. Maybe only the $50 I owe Joe. Nah, man, that ain't right. I'll return the whole thing.
Welcome back. The 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta are just a year away, and athletes are already fine-tuning their skills.
But although one Naval Academy midshipman won't be on next year's dream team, he's earned respect and playing time at this year's Summer Olympic Festival. Petty Officer Ron Flanders reports from Denver.
Trivia question. What do Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, and Michael Jordan have in common? Everyone knows they won Olympic gold playing on the famed Dream Team, but before most people actually knew who they were, they played in the Olympic Festival. This year, the festival's famed Olympic torch ignited the competitive fires of our best amateur athletes, including 48 of the top freshman and sophomore basketball players in the country. One of those players was midshipman Michael Heary, a 6'5" shooting guard who shattered Navy's freshman scoring record last season, averaging over 13 points a game off the bench. And his hustling style of play and deadly jump shot didn't go unnoticed, as he was one of 12 underclassmen selected to play for East coach John Calipari.
He's a terrific young man. He's played well, very heady, shoots the ball well, aggressive, active. I mean, and just a nice kid. Has a smile on his face all the time. And if he didn't get a lot of minutes, just whatever you give me, I'm gonna make do. I'm gonna show you I should be playing more. You always want players on your team like that. I really enjoyed coaching him.
A selectee on the Patriot League's all-rookie team last season, Heary has accomplished many things in his basketball career. But in his eyes, playing for the gold really takes the cake.
It's amazing. I never thought coming out of high school, you know, and going to the Naval Academy that I'd be here playing in this type of event. But it's just a great honor, especially representing my country like this and going to the Naval Academy at the same time. It's really, you know, a real patriotic, great feeling, you know, to do that.
The third highest scorer in New York high school basketball history, Heary had several scholarship offers from Division I schools. But to him, there was more to the decision than just basketball.
Well, a big part of it had to do with everything after college. You know, I thought that it was a great academic school, and I had the ability to come in and play right away. But also everything that it gives after college was a big part of my decision. You know, I think being able to get out of college and have a job right away, you know, it's really nice, especially today.
During the games, Heary performed well, connecting on several threes and finishing 5th on the East squad in points per minute. Though the East came up short, losing to the North 96-94 in the gold medal game, Heary made the Academy and his mom proud with a silver medal. Coach Calipari praised the leadership qualities of the future naval officer.
He's more of a quiet leader than a raw kind of guy. He does it by example. He does it by working hard, by being on time, doing the things that he's supposed to do, being responsible, being conscientious. Those kind of things you can see that you can always count on him. And I think leadership is about counting on people, that you know that he'll be there for you and he's going to be where he's supposed to be, and he's going to have you back.
Petty Officer Ron Flanders, Denver.
He's got a great jump shot, range threes on people, quick release.
Nets. It's nothing but net. That's all I saw.
Jealous. That was a good experience for him, though, to be out there at the Olympic Festival. And he's not only representing the Naval Academy, representing the Navy, and we're all proud of him.
Playing sports and working out are probably the top off-duty activities for most sailors and Marines. Ranking right up there with them is...
the the movies?
Exactly. Now, you've obviously read the script there, Chief. One movie that has received a lot of publicity this summer, both good and bad, is Kevin Costner's Waterworld.
We wanted to find out for ourselves, so we thought we'd go down to Naval Base Norfolk and check it out and have sailors give it their either thumbs up or thumbs down. Chief Petty Officer Steve Orr reports from the base's Main Gates Theater.
A lot of sailors and Marines spent their weekend at the movies, and one of the films that they saw was Waterworld. Now, this film's surrounded by a lot of controversy, mainly because of its huge budget. But the big question is, will this film sink or swim with the action fans? We're going to find out in just a minute.
Do them both. Torch the boat.
The producers of Waterworld spent $175 million to create the story of a futuristic Earth whose surface is covered completely with water. Costner plays the mariner, who is sort of like Mad Max with a boat and webbed feet. The rest of the cast, which includes Gene Triplehorn and bad guy Dennis Hopper, fight over a little girl who has a mysterious map tattooed on her back. The map may be a clue to the location of the only dry land left in their waterlogged world. Waterworld has enough stunts, explosions, and the latest in special effects to hold its own with this summer's blockbusters. But how does it go over with its target audience, the action fan?
It was good. A lot of interesting scenes, a lot of excitement, a lot of special effects.
It's a lot better than I thought it would be. From all the previews or anything like that, I thought it'd be kind of stupid, but it had a lot of action in it and everything, so it's pretty good. It took a lot of creativeness and ingenuity, you know, to make up some of the stuff they did in the movie, like the rigging and just stuff they did in there. It was really neat.
Personally, I thought Waterworld was an exciting adventure. The sets were great, the acting was wonderful. Dennis Hopper always makes a great villain. So if you're looking for a solid, action-packed, fast-paced film, Waterworld might be just the ticket. So this week, I give Waterworld, out of 4 bells, 3. I'm Chief Journalist Steve Orr for Navy Marine Corps News.
A lot of action there. Looks like the place to go if you want to beat the summer heat, though.
You know, that was one of the top grossing movies. It made over $21 million its opening weekend at the box office.
And one other thing that's worth mentioning there is about the theater. It's located right off the main gate, and it's run by NWR, and they have first-run movies there, so that sailors and Marines, you don't even have to go off base to watch the movies.
You know, sitting in a nice, cool movie theater, certainly one way to start off your summer. But another way to beat the heat is to go to your local beach or your local water park.
That's right. But where are these bastions of coolness? Well, hang on. Petty Officer Mark Kane has been around the world. He's going to tell you.
We're here at Adventure World, which is only 15 minutes east of our nation's capital. Now, this place has over 10 major water rides, and it's sure to get any sailor or Marine's heart pumping. One of the biggest ones here is the Tahiti Twister, and I'm getting set to go on it right now. What I'm getting ready to do, we're going down this 100-foot slide. It's going to take me around a bunch of twists and curves and good stuff like that, and then smash down into the water below. I can't wait. I'm going. Whoa! Yeah, that was awesome. You can bet there's some other water parks all around the world that are ready for you. Adventure World is one of 3 different parks in the Washington, D.C. area where sailors and Marines can go to have fun. Now to Petty Officer Ronnie Newsom in Norfolk.
Thanks, Mark. After a long, hot, sunny day, nothing like cooling off at Water Country, USA.
We have what I believe is the most unique family raft ride in the country right now.
We've opened Big Daddy Falls. It's a 4-person raft ride that can get your entire family or all your friends in this one gigantic raft. It's great fun.
Thrill seekers will find more than 30 exciting rides, slides, pools, shows, restaurants, and attractions at Water Country, all set in a colorful 50s and 60s beach atmosphere.
Water Country USA boasts being the largest water park in Virginia. Now we'll go to Sonia Hammond, who will show us how to cool off in California.
Well, hey, I'm here in beautiful sunny California at Wild Rivers Water Park, where I'm going to show you how West Coast sailors and Marines can beat the heat and have fun in the sun. So come on. This is Chaos, one of the newest features featured attractions here at Wild Rivers that has twists and turns that are breathtaking all the way from the top to the bottom. And I'm about to go see at the bottom. Man, that was great, but I want to get really wet. Now that's more like it.
We've got activities for just about everyone. And in addition to that, we have a military discount, which we offer to all the military personnel in Southern California.
With all the exciting rides here at Wild Rivers, it's a great place to come and have some fun. So let's surf on over to Hawaii and see what's going on.
Well, Sonia, while Hawaii may not have any water parks, it definitely has some of the most beautiful beaches in the world.
Right now, we're at one of those beaches, which offers some of the best snorkeling in Hawaii. You can see rare tropical fish like the humu humu nuku nuku wakua'a. Come on, let's go check it out. And if snorkeling isn't quite your speed, a lot of sailors and Marines catch the awesome waves out at Sunset Beach and Diamond Head. Hawaii may have some of the best beaches in the world, but other parts of the Pacific have just as much to offer. Let's head now to the Far East and see what's hot in Tokyo.
Hello and welcome to Toshimaen Water Park in central Tokyo, the world's second largest water park with 31 courses. It's a steamy day today and I'm ready to make a really big splash in some really cool water. There ain't no way I'm going down this suicide slide. Would you do it for a hamburger? No, no way.
Would you do it for an ice cream?
No way.
Would you do it for sushi?
Okay. With so many sights to enjoy in Tokyo, sailors and Marines are finding time this summer to get out and make a splash.
It's hot. It's really hot. The water feels really good because it's cold.
I love speed, I love cool, and I get both of them at this pool. From the land of the rising sun to the land of fire and ice, we go now to Iceland.
Okay, so Iceland's probably the last place you'd think of for fun in the water. Just the name alone probably brings up mental pictures of miles of snow and sub-zero temperatures. Well, not quite. The founder of Iceland deliberately misnamed the island to keep everyone else away.
Welcome to the Blue Lagoon. This is the unique wonder of nature we have here in Iceland. A pool of pure geothermal seawater, rich in minerals, and located right in the middle of a lava field. Believe me, this is one place you don't come to cool off. You come here to chill out. Come on.
So no matter the time of year or the temperature, Iceland offers sailors and Marines lots of ways to dive into some water fun. Back to you, Mark.
Now there's great water parks just about everywhere sailors and Marines are stationed. And if you check with your local MWR office, you can get some info or you can find out where you can get cooled off. For Navy Marine Corps News, I'm Petty Officer Mark.
Now that looks like you can around the world and have fun. And Mark, where did he get that outfit?
I loved it. It was perfect.
I'm telling you.
I'm ready to go back to Florida now.
Ah.
Well, that's our show for this week. I'm Katie Stoltz.
And I'm Herb Josie. Be sure to tune in the coming weeks. We're going to show how the new eval system is geared to help you out come eval time.
And if you're looking to continue your education, no matter where you are, we'll show you how getting back to the books is a lot easier.
That's right. Be sure to tune in for those stories and more.
And we're always looking for your feedback, so let us know what you'd like to see. You can call or email our feedback line. The address is coming up at the end of the show.
We'll leave you this week with another look at how to beat the summer heat all around the world, edited by Petty Officer John Charlton.
Have a great week.